Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So in this episode, we're going to be talking all about how to stop comparing yourself, and even if you feel jealousy or envy, using it as a source of motivation, inspiration, rather than a source to beat yourself down and shame and criticize yourself. I don't know why I'm doing this with my hands, but I'm kind of loving it. Like, I've got like one brain cell, but it makes me feel like I've got three. Okay, so if you see me look down at my crotch, it's because I've written down my script, because I always seem to wander off with the way that I talk and I go onto a little bit of a tangent. But every single person seems to love my tangents, but I want to, like, I'm someone that I like structure with a little bit of flow. But before I begin, I just want to thank every single person that has liked, comment and subscribed to my channel. It means the world to me. Like, ever since I was a kid, I've always wanted to be on YouTube and grow, but I just couldn't find what really lit me up and would sustain me for a while. Like, I tried makeup vlogs, that didn't work out very long. I did shopping hauls, that didn't work out very long because I didn't have enough money to even shop to do a haul in the first place. I tried a lot of things, but I feel like I finally landed on something that makes me feel happy, makes me feel like I'm serving my purpose, and makes me feel like I'm providing value to the people. This makes me feel so like, oh my god, I'm being heard and I'm being seen, because the YouTube space is so oversaturated. So any little interaction that you have with me on my channel means the world, because it means that you see me, and it will just make me even more passionate and more motivated to keep delivering content to you consistently, because that's what I want to do. I feel like for so long I've been like screaming in an empty hallway, but now everyone's like opening their doors and they're like, huh? I like what I hear. So when I scream out, just make sure to open the door and go, huh? I can hear you, because that would mean the world. I know that was such a weird analogy, but if it works, it works. So first thing I want to talk about is the fact that our brains naturally already compare. When I look at a really tall person, I go, wow, that person's really tall. When I look at a very short person, I go, wow, that person's really short. How do I know the two? It's because I compare them to myself and my height. Same with weight, same with age, same with everything. How am I supposed to know that someone that's 35 is older than me if I don't compare them to my age at 27 and then compare that I'm older to someone else who's 21? So comparison is actually necessary to survive in a society where humans exist. It's just necessary. It's already in our biological makeup. The issue is that when we weaponize it and we use it to put others down or to put ourselves down in the process, we can easily compare ourselves and go, oh my gosh, like they're doing better than me. And at the same joint, use that same muscle to be like, oh my god, I'm doing better than these other people. So it makes me feel really good. That's just the shadow and light aspect when it comes to comparison and envy. So in this video, I'm going to talk about why these feelings of jealousy and envy, they're natural human emotions, but what you do with them determines the values and the person that you want to become. One can really motivate you and inspire you to become your best self. The other can just diminish you, can make you feel less than, can make you feel doubtful, and make you more prone to give up and just ask yourself, why should I even bother? Why? There's not enough space for me. And I know how it feels because I've been there. So I'll share with you my story as a coach. I've run my coaching business for just under 3 years now, in March 2020. And I remember when I first came onto the scene, there's so many coaches and influencers and self-help motivational gurus like Tony Robbins and Oprah that are already in the field. Like, what really is there for me? And I would beat myself down for about 5 years. So I actually wanted to be a mindset life coach ever since I was like 20 years old, but I just didn't know how. And even if I did know how, or even if I didn't know my why, I would ask myself, but like, why bother? There's other people that are better than me. There are other people that are smarter than me. There are other people that are more eloquent and more confident, or just know what to do or what to say or how to coach or how to be more than me. So why do I even bother? I basically went and got a 9-to-5 job in government. And it was through there that I was working with people in the office, and they were like, Vanessa, what are you doing in a fucking office? Like, your personality and who you are, like, you help people just by being who you are. And then when COVID happened, I was like, okay, well, I've got nothing to lose. I literally have nothing to lose, because I think in Australia, everyone was on government payments. So I was like, well, I'm getting about $800 a month, or no, it was like $800 a week or something. So I was like, it kind of supplements my full-time income back then, so I might as well just take the leap and try coaching. Why not? And it's through that I've been able to be where I am. It hasn't been easy, and I've actually gone through a lot of trials and tribulations, because I had to really get over the comparison and the jealousy that I would feel when I would see other coaches just make like so much money, have so many followers, like have so much admiration and fame and success, and I'll look at myself and be like, oh my god, like I want that, but I don't want you to have it because I want it. And I thought that there was a limited supply of success, and there was a limited supply of resources and acknowledgement and fame and money when it came to with whatever I pursued, whether I went to acting, jewelry making, fashion design, whatever. I've tried a lot of things, bitch. I always thought that at the top there was only like a scarce amount that was given out. And of course this was programming throughout high school, you know, you get first, second, third place, and the rest was participation awards. And I was always someone that always came third, bitch. That's why 3 is my lucky number. Fun fact. My whole life I've been trained to compare. We are trained to compare all the time. Even in job interviews, we're compared to other people, other candidates. Like, we are always in a constant state of comparison to other people. But what we have to understand is that we can use comparison as a good indicator of where we are right now and where we want to be. But it becomes so toxic when we use it to beat ourselves down, or we use it to make ourselves feel better about ourselves and put other people down, because that's just such a shadow side to comparison, envy, and jealousy, and it doesn't benefit you or anyone else. When you experience jealousy or envy, like, no one else experiences that feeling but yourself. So when you feel that jealousy, and on top of that, you hate on other people for having what you want, or you don't think that they deserve what they have and that you want to take it from them, or if I can't have it, you can't have it either, that energy is just within your own body. It's within your own mind. It's within your own energy. It's not, their life is unaffected. You have to understand that their life is unaffected, your life is affected, and the way that you react to your jealousy and comparison has nothing to do with anyone else but your own human experiences and your own emotional health. Do you understand what I'm getting at? However you react to the stimuli that you see in the world affects only you. Use it in the wrong way, you're only just poisoning yourself. And like, if you're not going to use jealousy and envy in like a uplifting, motivating, inspirational way, like that energy state of like wanting no one to have what you want, or wanting to take away things, or that envy of like they don't deserve it, like maybe they had daddy and mummy's help, maybe that energy only affects you. It stops you. It makes you stuck. It doesn't make anyone else stuck. Everyone else is doing whatever the fuck they want to do. You're stuck because of the way that you react to your own jealousy and envy. Even if you're trying to put other people down, you're not actually putting anyone else down but yourself, because it might make you feel good in the moment, but it's not going to get you like where you need to go. You're not taking any actions. You're just wanting to curse everyone out and make everyone else suffer the same way that you're suffering. And in that sense, you know you're in your ego. Red flag, you're in your ego. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about how to shift this energy state into a more uplifting, motivating, inspiring feeling state. But before I go into that, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, because every single one of you guys means the world to me. And just getting a little tick of like, hey, I'm here and I'm listening and I'm watching your shit means the absolute world to me. You have no idea. And if you're loving my YouTube stuff and you want to know more or where to connect with me more, I've got all my links for TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, all that jazz down below. So make sure that you subscribe, you keep up to date, because I post everywhere all the time. So with that being said, let's begin. The first thing that I want you to understand is that when you're in the feeling state of jealousy and envy, you're only cherry picking what you want out of that person, but you're not choosing to be that person. So for example, let's say I meet someone and they have $10 million. Okay. They got $10 million. Oh my God, I want the $10 million. The universe and God was like, okay, let's look at the person as a whole. And then God goes, both his parents died, and the $10 million is the life insurance payout for him to continue living life without his parents. That changes everything. Why does it change everything? Because you stopped cherry picking what looks good and you start to look at the reality of a certain situation. Also have to become that person. So you have to accept their traumas, their family background, their cultural background, all their lived experiences, their systematic beliefs, all the shit they went through, what they've lost. Can you handle that? And honestly, there was this quote that was like, if you put all your problems in a pile with everyone else's problems, you will take your problems back straight away. So you never know who someone is. Everyone is so multifaceted. You're only comparing yourself to what you see that person has that's all shiny and sparkly. But if you knew what that person had to go through, or what that person had to lose, or what that person had to sacrifice to get that shiny thing that you want, that you think is so easy to obtain, you would think twice. So understand that everyone is multifaceted, and if you want something that you envy from someone else, you have to understand that you also have to become that person that has that thing, and to ask yourself, would you want to be that person 100%? Have that lifestyle, live where they live, have the parents, have the in-laws, have the brothers and sisters and the friends and the community and the networks, or no network. Would you have that? If not, then you do not have a platform or a grounds to even be envious or jealous, because if you were that person with the exact same circumstances, of course you would get what they have that you're envious about, but you don't. And you can't just cherry pick what you like in someone else. But sure, people can cherry pick what they like in you, but they wouldn't want to become you. Because you know your lived experiences, you know your trauma, you know what you've had to go through, you know your relationships that you've had to burn and break down, you know you've been through yourself, through the pain, the tears, the emotional outbursts, and like for someone to say, oh, like, you know, you have it so easy, you must be so lucky, especially when you work really hard towards something. A lot of people go, oh my god, you're so lucky to have a coaching business, you're easy to be successful and have these clients and like get the views. Do you think it was easy to put myself out there, be criticized and laughed at by my classmates, by my co-workers, by my family members? Do you think it was easy to have people laugh at me and share my shit and talk shit about me? Now they're not talking shit because my success silenced them, but back then it was really bad. It was really bad, and I wouldn't wish it upon my worst enemy, because it was horrible. It really destroyed my sense of self-confidence back then when I was trying to start something new. You know, my fear of being judged, my fear of being perceived, all of that. On top of that, I remember when I was first starting out, I got rejected 27 times before I got my first sale. Can you handle being rejected 27 times? A lot of people would stop at the second time, max. I have peers that have already started at the same time as me who have already dropped off. They're not doing coaching anymore. It's not for the weak. It's not for people who just want quick cash or quick money. It takes a lot of time, a lot of discipline, and for someone to say, oh, I want that, but I don't actually want to do all the things that you had to do and go through, and the emotional pain of the rejection and your failures, I don't want to go through that to get that, then you don't have a say. You can't have what I have. You can't cherry pick what you want in someone else's life without looking at the hard work and the person and the sacrifices that they had to do, the pain that they had to go through the rejections, through the failures, through the lost money, through trusting decisions that ended up being flukes. Remember, I invested 13k in a fucking scam coach. That hurt. Would you do it? No, you wouldn't even invest 13k, but I invested 13k because I want to learn how to sell. If you're wanting what I have in life, but you're not willing to go through the same shit that I went through, then you can't be envious of what I've achieved. It doesn't make sense. So that was the same with me. I was like, wow, you know, my friend, I don't know. The thing is that, like, I can't really think of a scenario where I'm envious or jealous of anyone in a negative way, because I know the pain and the destroy and the sacrifices that people have had to go through in order to live that life. Like, I've got a friend who went to Kenya to visit her family for 6 months, but she had to work like a fucking dog and save up money for a year beforehand. And so then a lot of people go, oh my god, she's on holiday for 6 months, where did she get the money? It must be mum and dad. Oh my god, so easy for her, da da da. But if you actually look at it, she actually worked about a year or two, I think it was a year and a half to 2 years, saving up that money aggressively, not eating out, in order to go spend 6 months with her family in Kenya and still be able to pay rent back in Australia so she wouldn't lose her studio apartment. If you were to go, oh my god, she's just always taking holiday photos, if you don't know who she is, actually knew the reality of her sacrifices and what she had to go through, you wouldn't be envious or jealous. You'd actually be looking at admiration, and you'd be like, oh my god, I'm so motivated and so inspired at your discipline and able to save that money and being able to have that delayed gratification. But you wouldn't know this because you only cherry pick certain things. So just remember that. Wow, that was a little bit of a tangent, but I hope that made sense and I hope that resonated. The second thing is that you don't know the truth of what you're comparing yourself to. So there was this couple that I grew up with that I was like, oh my god, like, they're like the perfect couple, like they seem so happy, they're always laughing in their photos, they always share photos. And then I ran into the woman who was an old classmate at my high school, and she was telling me how it was one of the most abusive relationships that she's ever gone through. She struggled to leave because he would kill himself if she left, and he actually tried a few times. So it wasn't like he was not being serious, like he was being very serious, and because she's like so scared about like all this stuff, she just couldn't leave. And she actually wanted to leave within the first 6 months, but she couldn't, so she stayed for 6 years so then she could leave safely. And when I found that out, I was like, oh my god, this whole time I thought they had the perfect relationship, and I would beat myself down and go, oh my god, why is it so hard for me to find someone that I genuinely connect with, but it's so easy for everyone else? But then when I have conversations with certain people, I realize that a lot of the times people stay with people because they're scared of being alone. They don't want to be single. They don't want to be judged by society, especially if they're over 30 and they're single. They want to get married because it looks good, but they're not really happy, so they're cheating on the side. The most men that have hit on me have been married. It makes me like so skeptical, and that's why I've been single most of my life, because I really take the time to pick the right partner and to pick really good friends, because who you surround yourself and the circle that you surround yourself is so important. I used to not be jealous, but I'd be like, oh my gosh, like I want their love, and I thought it was the best love ever. I thought it was like that best friend type of love. Hearing the truth after the breakup just made me go, wow, like you actually don't know what someone is going through at all. You're comparing yourself to what other people show you or tell you about their life. You actually don't know what is actually going on in their life. You're comparing your 24/7 reality that you experience, not only in the external world, but also emotionally. Like, not only are you living your life, but you're feeling the feelings of your life. You're comparing it to a highlight reel. And it's so easy to fabricate a highlight reel. I could say whatever I want and people would believe it in this fucking day and age. No one actually goes into fact checked or to make sure that what they're seeing is actually the truth. Don't compare yourself to someone else's highlight reel that they've cherry picked for you to see, for them to be perceived buy. It's a false reality and it's not 100% the truth, and you're comparing it to your truth. And the third thing that I want to go into is feeling that comparison, that jealousy and that envy is not a bad feeling to feel, but it's what you do between that space that determines how you're going to use this as inspiration and motivation, or use it to shame yourself. You have to make a conscious decision to sit in that feeling and go, I'm choosing to see this feeling as motivation, or I'm using this feeling of jealousy to feel and recognize that if I'm triggered by what they have, it means my soul and who I am wants that as well. Whenever I feel jealousy, like, for example, I'm not jealous if someone buys a farmhouse in the middle of whoop whoop. Why? Because I don't want to own a farm. I never get jealous when someone showcases their beautiful long blonde hair. Why? Because I don't want beautiful long blonde hair. I don't get jealous when someone shares their Chanel or their Hermes or their LV. Why? Because I'm not really into designer stuff. I do get jealous when someone travels the world and posts it online. I do get a bit jealous when I see happy couples online. I do get jealous when I see that someone has an amazing body. Those are things I get jealous about, because why? I know I want those things too. And instead of beating myself down or trying to shame that person that has a hot body or is traveling the world, I can use it as motivation of like, if that's what I want, what can I do now? What are the action steps now to take? So then I can be them. I can get closer to what they have, because if it's possible for them, it's possible for me. And the last thing that I want to touch on is that just because they have what you have doesn't mean that there's going to be less for you once you get to a place where you can also get the same thing. There is enough for everyone. There are so many coaches online. There are so many people who have hot bodies. There are so many people who make lots of money. There are so many people who travel the world. There's so much space and room for abundance, more than you'll ever know. There's room for everyone to eat at the table, is essentially what I'm getting at. But if you go in thinking, oh my God, like, there's not enough for everyone, so I have to wish for someone else to lose what I want in order for me to gain what I want, that is the negative way to think. That is a victim mindset, and that will not get you far, because that energy state already puts you in the back seat. It already stops you and keeps you stuck, because you're already cursing everyone else to stop and like to take away what they have. That energy could be used to think better thoughts and to actually take action steps, so then you can meet them where they are. You guys can share the same experiences. And whenever I feel jealousy or envy, like, I always tell the person, oh my God, I'm so jealous and envious of you. I want what you have. How did you get there? And they tell me. Radical honesty and admiration got me so far in life. I have been able to have such powerful conversations because I'm so brutally honest with the way that I feel, but I structure it in a way that complements that person. There was this fitness influencer called Jen Shelter. She's fucking huge. I think she has like 13 million followers. I reached out to her on like direct message. I was like, babe, like, I love your ass. I love your body. How the fuck did you do it? How did you do it? And she replied like 3 hours later. She gave me like a little like customized training plan. She didn't need to do anything. If anything, she's an online fitness coach, but she gave me like a little bit, just a little bit. Just a little bit, and I was like, oh my God. And then I used it, and then I got like a juicy ass and some abs, a little bit of curve. If someone was to come up to me and be like, oh my God, Vanessa, I'm so jealous of this that you have. How did you do it? I'm so curious. Like, I'm so inspired by you. I would help that motherfucker out so bad. I'd be like, oh my God, like, you're a healthy person that understands that envy and jealousy isn't a bad thing. Oh my God, let me help you, because you're not going to wish bad for me. If anything, we're going to help each other grow even more. Isn't that like a win-win for both situations? You don't want to be in a place where you think everyone has to lose, or if they lose then you win. You want to be in a space where you're winning because you're feeling something about what someone else has. That is a great thing. That is a blessing in disguise. Jealousy and envy is a blessing in disguise, but if you don't look at it that way, you're going to see everything as a trigger, and then you're going to get nowhere in life, because you're going to be constantly triggered. You're going to be constantly stuck, and you're just going to be like, it's so overwhelming. You're going to go straight on your phone. You're going to go hang out with your friends. You're going to scroll on fucking social media, whatever. You're going to do it all. I can tell already. Why? Because a lot of my clients that come into my world tell me the exact same situation. A lot of them feel these feelings of jealousy and envy, but I work with them to dissolve it in a sense where we feel motivated and we feel inspired by them. So if this is you, this is a little elevator pitch, but this is you, make sure to book in a one-on-one free 45-minute consult call, because that's what I do as a coach, baby doll. I help women and men all over the world break through their upper limits and get out of their own way to live a life of their dreams of abundance, prosperity, success, all of that jazz. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video on comparison and how to just dissolve that jealousy and envy feeling into a better state where you're able to use it to motivate and discipline and inspire yourself and the people around you. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe on this video if you really enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next Sunday. Bye guys.